Namaskar, a very good afternoon, everyone. Ahanbada Mahikola Shibu, Konbiribi, Kachi Lairendibu, I have Nakumnamakima Sinjaraga Kurumjari. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed faculties of different universities, respected academicians, educators, policy makers, and dear friends. Welcome to a landmark event that marks the beginning of a new era in education, the inaugural program of two-day national conference on National Education Policy 2020, Opportunities and the Way Forward, jointly organized by Manipur University, Kanchipur, Imphal, India, Dhanamanjuri University, Central Agricultural University, Manipur University of Culture, IIT Manipur, Directorate of University and Higher Education, Government of Manipur, and Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Sansthan, Manipur Chapter. I, Priyalakshmi Lampoklakun, Research Scholar, Department of Dance and Music, Manipur University, and I am delighted to be your host today as we embark on a journey of transformation in the realm of education. National Education Policy 2020 is not just a set of guidelines. It's a roadmap for the holistic development of every individual. It envisions an educational landscape that not only equips students with knowledge, but also fosters creativity, critical thinking, and a sense of social responsibility. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." And today, our distinguished guests will present enlightening thoughts on the education policy that will help in shaping the future of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, to kickstart the inaugural program, may I have the honor to acknowledge and welcome our esteemed dignitaries to be on the dais. First of all, it is a distinct honor to welcome our respected chief guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, Sri Thaunawsam Basantakumar Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome our respected chief guest of today's function. And also would like to have the privilege to invite on stage our respected President, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome our respected President. And also would like to have the privilege to invite on stage our respected keynote speakers and guests of honor of today's function. Next, we'd like to invite on stage Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Professor Avinash Pandey. We welcome you, sir. And also would like to request Professor G.P. Prashant, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University. And also would like to request Professor Saranghem Indira, Dean, College of Agriculture, Central Agricultural University, Imphal, representing Professor Anupam Mishra, Vice Chancellor, Central Agricultural University. And next would like to request Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, Professor P. Gunendra Singh. Ladies and gentlemen. And may I have the honor to invite on stage Director, IIT Manipur, Imphal, Professor Krishnan Bhaskar. And next, it's my honor to invite on stage Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University and Commissioner, Education, Government of Manipur, Sri H. Gyan Prakash, IAS. And last but not the least, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, New Delhi, Professor Kiran Hazarika. And may I have the privilege to invite on stage Vice Chancellor Dhanamanjuri, token of appreciation. Thank you so much. Mathan Gesine Kai Kunajari Bangasigi Thoramasibu preside Tobiriba, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor N. Lokendra Singh Mafamda, Ikai Kunabucha Boina, Kudolpot Singh, Lantukjeri. Mathan Gesine Kai Kunajari. Next we have Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Professor Avinash Pandey. Would like to take a moment to honor and felicitate our respected guests of honor of today's function. Thank you so much, sir. And next to Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, Professor G.P. Prashant. It's a token of love and appreciation for your gracious presence. Thank you so much, sir. And next to our respected Vice Chancellor, Manipuri University, Professor N. Rajmohan Singh. Thank you so much. Registrar Busu, Hatat Perform Jerry. Makatarapa felicitation as it over and about Naluk Jerry. Registrar, Manipur University of Culture, Sri Laisham Radhakanta. Would like to take a moment to request on stage Sri Laisham Radhakanta, Registrar, Manipur University of Culture, to honor and felicitate our respected dignitaries on the dais. And would like to present a token of appreciation to Professor Saranghem Indira, Dean, College of Agriculture, Central Agricultural University, Imphal, representing Professor Anupam Mishra, Vice Chancellor, Central Agricultural University. And next to our respected guest of honor, Professor P. Gunindro Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture. Thank you so much. And next to Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director, IIIT Manipur, Imphal. Mathandikay Kumajariba, Commissioner, Education, Government of Manipur, Sri H. Gyan Prakash, IAS, Ikay Kumajariba, Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University, Bhutaram Nokchari, Ikay Kumaba Uchari. And last but not least, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, New Delhi, Professor Kiran Hazarika. Thank you so much, Madhya Registrar Busu, Hadat Perform Picture. May I now request Professor C.H. Ibohal Maite, Chairman, Organizing Committee of the conference, to deliver the welcome address articulating the purpose and significance of the event.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, Sri T.H. Basanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Manipur, the chief guest of today's inaugural function, the National Conference on National Education Policy 2020, Opportunities and Way Forward. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, the President of today's inaugural function. Respected guests of honors, Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, Professor N. Rajmohan Singh, Professor G.P. Prasad, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, Professor P. Gunindro Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, Professor Christian Bhaskar, he will be joining shortly. He's on the way because of delay in the flight. He is joining with us. The Director, IIIT Manipur, Sri H. Gyan Prakash, IAS, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University, and also the Commissioner, Education, Government of Manipur, Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center for UGC New Delhi, the keynote speaker of today's National Conference. Distinguished resource persons, Director of Universities and Higher Education, learned deans of different schools of studies from different universities and institutions in Manipur, faculty members from various universities and institutions in Manipur, principals of the colleges, special invitees, students, friends from print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good evening to everyone. Punamakku ahanimaktada kurumdari sabiko namaskar. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we all of us are aware about the various flagship activities the government of India has taken up for the nation to become a global knowledge superpower in the next few years down the line. And at the same time, when India is going to celebrate 100 years of independence, India is to become a developed nation. And for any of the developmental things to happen, or any of the developed nations, the pivotal importance for the good things to happen in that nation or the country is very much dependent on the kind of education system the region or the country will be having. On that very basic fundamentals, Government of India under the dynamic and able leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji launched this National Education Policy 2020 on 29 July 2020. With that, so much of changes, the overhauling of the entire education system had been initiated even in our state Manipur too. Many new developments have cropped up in terms of generating more employment avenues, in terms of giving the holistic education to our young people. And that way, the organizing committee is thinking to have some sort of a congregation of academia, industry, from different institutions prevalent in the state of Manipur, inviting resource persons from outside the state too. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, would like to take the privilege of expressing our warm welcome and profound gratitude and regards to our honorable chief guest of today's function, Sri K.H. Basanta Kumar Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Manipur, for sharing his valuable time with us. Let's give him a warm round of applause for welcoming himself. I also would like to extend my warm welcome and profound gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor N. Lakendra Singh, Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, for giving all sort of a dynamic leadership and guidance for making this program a great success. I once again would like to extend a warm welcome and profound regards to all the respected guests of honors, Professor G.P. Prasad, the Vice Chancellor of Tripura University. In spite of very preoccupation, he is kind enough to join our conference. And I once again extend our gratitude to you, sir. I also express our warm welcome and gratitude to Professor N. Rajmohan Singh, Vice Chancellor, Dhanamandiri University, Professor Anupam Mishra, Vice Chancellor, Central Agriculture University. At the moment, he is represented by Professor Indira Sarangthem, Dean, College of Agriculture, Central Agriculture University. Professor P. Gunindra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture. Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director, IIIT, Manipur. Sri H. Gyan Prakash, IAS, Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University, and also the Commissioner, Education, Government of Manipur. Amidst us, we have Professor Kiran Hajarika, the Pro-Vice Chancellor of IGNOU, the former member of UGC, is a guest of honor. I express, on behalf of the organizing committee, warm welcome and profound regards to the distinguished dignitaries. Also, I express Professor Avinash Pandey, the Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center of UGC New Delhi, for coming all the way from Delhi to deliver the keynote address and making very good suggestions and recommendations for implementation of the NEP 2020. And all the officials from the Department of Higher and Technical Education, universities and higher education, registrars of various universities and institutions, faculty members, deans, resource persons, students, ladies and gentlemen, I express warm welcome and profound regards to all of you for making a gracious presence in this today's National Conference on National Education Policy 2020, opportunities and way forward. And we are looking forward to having fruitful deliberations and sharing of ideas, experiences, and that way we may be able to come up with new vistas for transforming India into a great nation, and the dream of India to become $5 trillion US economy in the next couple of years down the line, to become a Brexit Bharat by 2047, and that way the entire economic and educational landscape of our state can also be transformed into a vibrant one. That is the dream we are having, and all the academicians hopefully will be immensely benefited from the various deliberations we will be having in the subsequent session. I once again extend warm welcome to each and every one. Thank you all.
The Chairman, Organizing Committee of the conference for his exceptional welcome address, which captivated our hearts and minds. Thank you so much, sir. Now we would like to take a moment to honor and felicitate our respected guest of honor, Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director, IIIT Manipur, Imphal. And to do the honor, may I once again invite on stage Registrar, Manipur University, Professor W. Changabu Singh. Presenting a traditional stole, lingam, and a replica of follow player as a token of love, appreciation. Thank you so much, sir, for your precious presence. May I now request our respected dignitaries on the dais to illuminate the ceremonial lamp symbolizing the commencement of the two-day National Conference on National Education Policy 2020, Opportunities and the Way Forward. A moment of profound significance as the ceremonial lamp is lit, symbolizing the enlightenment and knowledge that education brings to our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now have the privilege to request Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, to deliver the keynote address of today's function.
Honorable Shri Basant Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, dignitaries on the dais, and all the distinguished faculty members, academicians, teachers from different colleges, the delegates of this national conference. We all know that NEP 2020 is already available with us, has been launched, and we have started working to implement it in its letter and spirit. This policy is significantly different from the earlier policies. We all know that our education system in India is largest in the world, and if you name any fortune company across the world, the top fortune companies are manned by our people. talk about Google, talk about, you name the company and the person who is looking after, who is heading that organization is a person who got trained in this soil. Why we need to look at the policy which is in form of NEP 2020 is available has got manifold ramifications. The first important activity which is there, we are now moving to student-centric education system. The conventional system was teacher-centric, and now there is a significant departure. In this policy, we are focusing more on students, their requirements. A student can be a bright student, a student can be a slow learner, but having all the mental faculties working fine. How to cope up with a class which is having a mix of ability spectrum, that is one challenge. Giving the pace to different students having different ability spectrum, giving the choices, what they actually wish to pursue in their career, and also not learning only one technique which is not sufficient to solve the real problem. The solution of real problem exists at the interface of many disciplines. And because of that, if you remember, our Honorable President Abdul Kalam ji, once he said that we should move towards a smart convergence. When he said smart convergence, it meant that we need to have convergence of IT, BT, CT, NT, information technology, biotechnology, communication technology, nanotechnology. If everybody or the students, they are trained at that interface, then they will be able to solve the problems which are real in nature. Why importance is to be given to the problems which are of real nature? You all know that the way technology and science has progressed, it can be considered as a monolithic, insular peak in a time domain of societal evolution of 10,000 years, 300 years. We have done a lot. And I will say that the planet Earth is under stress. The problem of global warming, the problem of climate change, the number of hot days going to be more, the glaciers are melting, drinking water is going to be a next problem. Too much of water or no water. Desertification and flooding. Extreme weather events, the species, they have started getting extinct and at a very faster pace. So they will come, one day, there will be a day, we will also get endangered. So to save the planet, to save the planet Earth, we have to appreciate the havocs, the side of the developmental aspect that has led to this kind of problem. The other problem what we have, there is a divide of haves and divide of have-nots. In all terms, even there is a digital divide. So how to bridge the gap? How to bring this gap to the narrow, to the minimal? That is another challenge which we are facing. Access to the higher education, and you know the gross enrollment ratio is differing from one state to other state. The students, they don't get enough opportunity to pursue their higher studies, and sometimes it all becomes rote learning. You simply remember something and then you reproduce, and that is what is tested in the examinations. So we have to move from those competencies which were earlier tested. For example, We were focusing only on how you can remember well, how can you apply to some extent, and to some extent what you understand. But the higher level of competencies are how you can have the capability of analyze, review a situation, and the distinctiveness of a human being, if you compare with animals, we are the people who have creativity. So creation of knowledge. And I can exemplify what I mean by creativity. An animal has got all the attributes what we have, but they don't have several such things. The first thing is they don't have empathy. They cannot transfer the frame of reference in somebody else and start thinking the way how you are thinking, how you are reacting. And the other important thing, you can see the nest of a bird. You can identify that this nest belongs to this bird. But our nest is all changing. If I have to construct another house, I'll go for a different modern house. So that is what the creativity is there. So how to inculcate these higher competencies? The life change, life cycle skills. And you know, in many of the institutions, you get good marks, you get the highest degree of a best institute, but you don't know how to fight with your life, which is more important. And you might have also heard many of such incidences in which the young students, they commit suicide. The absence of sports in our curriculum, and in sports, we are trained every day that today if I have lost the match, tomorrow there is an opportunity I can win. But in case of academics, if you have a rat race, you have a cutthroat competition, that means you are topper all the way and suddenly there is some problem, you cannot cope up with that stress and you decide to end your life. So these are some of the things which necessitates the change in our education system. I told you that the problem of a real problem, of solution of a real problem lies at interface. So we need to have multidisciplinarity. We need to nurture a student who is transformed in an university, who is not only educated, but he is also completely transformed. We need to develop the students as the leaders of their field of study, so that they can cope up with the disruptions which are coming in a very fast manner. We had first revolution, industrial, second, third, they lasted long. But the fourth revolution, on the brink of that revolution, we are already there, and this will not last longer. And several such disruptions will come. So that means the skill sets which are required to remain relevant throughout your life. First thing is that you have to keep learning all the way, all your life. Lifelong learning should be there. And it is up to you, whenever you find that this kind of skill sets are required, you can have the option, you can choose those electives from the basket which is available, and then you can equip with those skills so that you remain relevant throughout your life. And many changes have been proposed. The first important thing is, in case of National Research Foundation, which we are going to set up very soon, it is already approved by Cabinet. All the disciplines will get funding. The industry-academia connect is to be established because industries, they don't come forward for R&D projects. And most of the problems that industries have, they can be solved in the academia. So there is a win-win situation. You bring your problem from your academia, from industry, we at academia can resolve the problem. And many small things, despite the fact that we have progressed a lot. But, for example, I was developing MRI magnet. And you'll be shocked to know that MRI magnet is not built in India. We do not have per million population the standard which is there, only 1.5 machine is there out of 1 million population. Whereas in Japan it is 30. If you go to a town, the metropolitan city, you will find several MRI machines sitting together. But the moment you go just outside that city, you will not find one. And if there is a stroke, brain stroke or heart attack led some kind of embolism somewhere, you cannot diagnose the problem. But when we started working, we found that many unknowns are there. And these people, they don't let you know. They sell their machine on their terms. So not only machine, but the after-sale services. That is also, we are at their mercy. I have taken one example, but if you see any example which is there, you can find that most of the items which are key enabling technology is not available with us. I don't advocate, I'm not for that reinventing the wheel is there. If everything is available anywhere, and if it is available to you also, there is no point in wasting your time. You can go for something else. But you might have also noticed that when we were struggling with COVID, the spike protein which was required was being imported from outside. And they had a term, they had a regimen, and we have been governed by those regimens. Many regimens are there, that you cannot do this, you cannot do this. The moment they say, they understand that now country is going to take a lead in some direction, they put a regime, be it non-proliferation of treaty for nuclear weapons or for peaceful nuclear energy, and number of such regimens are there. The key enabling technology is with them. If you purchase one electron microscope, you have to sign end user certificate. And you are responsible. If suppose something is used out of that, then you become responsible. So we have to come out from that regimen. We have to empower our people, and we have to be vocal for local. Many good things are there in our traditions, in Indian knowledge system, which is there, which is kept in a different domain because there is a disconnect of language. So if you have gone through that policy talks about your mother tongue. You understand all kind of creativity comes to your mind in your mother tongue. English is a kind of a skill. You don't think when you are dreaming in English, you dream in your vernacular. So initial learning, initial understanding, if it becomes very sound, that is only possible if you are taught in your mother tongue. And there is no harm, the way we learn English as a skill, we can learn many other languages to communicate with the people, to make our students smart so that they can also work in other setups. And for that matter, the teachers, those who are the torch bearers, the responsibility of implementation lies on the shoulders of the teachers. And this is only one profession, teaching, where there is no formal training process. Honorable Minister is sitting here. When he was selected by UPSC for IPS, I had an opportunity to share this stage once I was there in IIIT convocation. So he had an opportunity to go through a training process. He learned many of the skills which was otherwise not available in formal education. But as a teacher, when I talk in my master's or when I do some PhD work which is published somewhere, I don't get an opportunity to be trained how I'm going to engage my class. The teaching skill, the research is not correlated. A good teacher cannot be considered as will be the good researcher, and likewise. So continuous professional development, when you join the institution, higher education institution as a teacher, you need a kind of hand-holding. So policy also talks about that, a systematic way of professional development across your career, when you progress in your field after 5 years, the knowledge which has expanded, you need to be refreshed. But when you further advance in your career, you'll get an opportunity to appreciate other disciplines also, cross-fertilization of ideas of different disciplines. And when we enter to the next phase, when we have to lead the team as a vice chancellor, as a director, as a dean, as a head, we also need to learn the skills which are required for personnel management. And these are the stages by which we have to pass. And once we are there, so at the end, when we say we have retired, no, teacher has got no retired life. Teacher becomes torchbearer in the society after formal completion of his career as a teacher, as a professor, as a vice chancellor. And he is there as a torchbearer to the society because he is considered as a person having wisdom, who has all his life served the nation by acquiring new knowledge, creating new knowledge. This is one part. And the other important thing is we cannot cater to the requirements of the student because we are having this demographic dividend, too many young students. How to have this class across the country, the good teaching material. So SWAYAM is already there and we are supposed to take 40%, but SWAYAM also requires a good amount of training. We have to train ourselves how this platform is to be utilized. And from summative assessment to formative assessment, that is another challenge which a teacher has to face. Unless otherwise we go for a formative assessment, the outcome-based learning framework cannot be put in place. So we have come out with many guidelines, be it multiple entry-exit, be it National Higher Education Quality Framework, making a kind of syncing between three different verticals: vocational education, skill education, and general education. How laterally people can move from one vertical to other vertical. What are the benchmarks? What are the quality paths? How we can recognize the recognition for prior knowledge. If I am working fine with some skill, if I am willing to go for general education, what are the ways by which I can enter into general education? Internationalization of higher education is another thing. And you all know that this is the country where Nalanda, Takshila, people used to come from outside India, having the best teacher-taught ratio in this country. And they taught everything, starting from medicine, the Dhanurvidya, everything was taught here. So why can't we go to the state where multidisciplinarity, holistic development of education, and also making the students' life comfortable in the sense that they are not only remembering things by rote learning, but they are actually enjoying the learning. We are providing the way how to think instead of what to think. So these are some of the paradigm shifts which have been planned. I will not take much of time. Tomorrow I will have a detailed session in which formal presentation shall be made from my side because honorable dignitaries are there and would like to listen from them. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and this is going to be a turning point in this state once this policy rolls out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, IUAC, New Delhi, for delivering a commendable keynote address at the event. Your insights have added significant value to the occasion. Mathang Desina Thoramasi Makata Tazara Poina, Thoramgi Yamamaruiba Takakamasu Oiriba, launching of China Koho, Masigi Magdad, Director, University and Higher Education Government of Manipur, Dr. Rangita Bali Waikom, stays elected Biraknaba Noluchen. And it is my honor to request your esteemed presence for the official launch of the China Koho scheme, a momentous initiative aimed at bringing positive changes. Your support will undoubtedly contribute to the success of this meaningful endeavor. Would like to request all the respected dignitaries on the dais. Okay. First, Madam will present the brief introduction note of this scheme.
Since the launching of National Education Policy 2020 by Government of India, under the able leadership of Honorable Chief Minister of Manipur and Honorable Education Minister of Manipur, the Department of Higher Education, Government of Manipur, is continuously creating small milestones each day towards the fulfillment of the core objectives of National Education Policy 2020. Chainga Kongho, supporting the journey, is one such milestone for reaching out to the students studying in the higher educational institutions infected or affected by HIV, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C. As we all know that our state, Manipur, is deeply affected by drug trafficking and drug abuse, and a great number of our population are affected directly or indirectly by this menace. And there are a significant number of students belonging to such families pursuing higher education in the state. These students are vulnerable to stigma, discrimination, financial hardship, as they come from humble families, and many of them are orphans or either having single parent only. Chainga Kongho, supporting the journey, will reach out to these students, will accept them, support them, heal them, and empower them to complete their higher education with adequate skilling for enhancing their employability. Chainga Kongho will provide the much needed institutional support to groom these students for a holistic growth and development and to make them become proud, successful citizens of India. For this financial year 2023-24, a total of 112 students studying in various higher learning institutions in the state will be supported under this scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, Chainga Kongho is a commitment of the government of Manipur. So dear students, you are never alone as we stand by you. We care for you, so let's join our hands together to nurture hope, trust, and faith, and walk this beautiful journey hand in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, now I request the respected dignitaries on the dais to launch the flyer of Chainga Kongho supporting the journey.
Leading by our Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, all our respected dignitaries on the dais as leaving the honor of launching the scheme for the students of HEIs affected by HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. Chainga Kongho supporting the journey. Thank you so much for doing the honor. Thank you, ma'am. And ladies and gentlemen, due to some unavoidable circumstances, our respected Chief Guest, Honorable Minister, is departing a little bit earlier. So, with due respect, may I have the privilege to request our respected Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, Shri Thongnaujam Basantakumar Singh, to address the gathering.
Kurumjari, Namaskar, respected dignitaries on the dais. Firstly, my elder brother, Professor N. Lopendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. My respects to you, Kamo. Next, Professor Ravindra B. Kulkarni, Vice Chancellor, Mumbai University. My respects to you. Professor Kiran Hazarika, Pro VC, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Delhi. Kaikamnabucheri, my respects to you. Respected Vice Chancellors of Dhanamanjari University, Central Agricultural University, Manipur University of Culture, Director, Triple IT Manipur, my good friend, and learned deans seated in front, heads of departments, faculty members, scholars from various institutions and universities, special invitees, friends from the media, both electronic and print, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. I firstly would like to apologize that I have to go for another engagement, so I have taken the liberty of requesting the organizers to kindly give me the floor so that I can put a few words to this August gathering. As we all know, the development and well-being in a place or region, particularly like Manipur, are very much dependent on the quality of human resources. And the education system the place is having. Education is the most powerful weapon that can be used to change the nation. And as we all know, today, India is becoming one of the youngest nations in the world, with more than 54% of its total population below 25 years of age. India now envisions to become a global knowledge superpower in the next few years down the line. Under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, the National Education Policy 2020 was launched, which is, as we all know, the third education policy after independent India. And it has been introduced to make a complete overhaul of the Indian education system and make the system a world-class one. The average age of the population in India is 29 years, as against some developed countries like Europe, it's 46 years, Japan, it's 47 years. And now to achieve India's vision to become a global knowledge superpower shortly, we need to groom our youth to become more creative and become globally acceptable worldwide. To reap this equity, presently people talk a lot about demographic dividend, and which is expected to last for the next 30 years or so, which India is trying to take full advantage of. We need to equip our workforce with employable skills and knowledge. That way, they can contribute substantively to the economic growth of the country and achieve the target of $5 trillion economy in the next few years. For that matter, the role of academia, scientists, teachers, all of you who are seated in front, and also entrepreneurs, is very important to expedite their creative talent and innovative research outcomes. National Education Policy 2020 has provided all sorts of opportunities to transform the country and the state into an academically vibrant nation. Now, while implementing this national education policy, there will be teething problems, hiccups, and all these are a process which has to be followed and followed through, because only then can we ensure the implementation of the national education policy in its full spirit. As I was coming in today, I was asked by the press, the media, that what is the status of national education policy and its implementation in the state of Manipur. I can confidently share with all of you here, seated here, that in the case of Manipur, it is doing quite well. It may not be among the top states while the implementation is going on, but it is among the above average, more than some of the very bigger states like Karnataka and all. We have the NEP tracker, which we keep track of, and we see that our state is not doing too badly. So we need to ramp it up. We need to increase our commitment to implementing this. And I can assure you that in the next 2 to 3 years, our state, there will be a sea change in the education setup in the state of Manipur. And now, ladies and gentlemen, today the world is flat. As you know, that novel, it's a flat world, the world is flat and becoming borderless. And our state, Manipur too, has been geographically challenged. It has been a landlocked state. But the land linkages, not only that, with the Trans-Asian Highway and Trans-Asian Railway coming here, not only that, but in terms of IT, everything is coming together to make sure that our state does not lag behind in the development process. Manipur and the northeastern states of India have become major places of attraction for trade, commerce, and industries, education, and healthcare. And this is our state, in fact, was doing very well in the last 6 years or so. We had the G20 summit, we had Femina Miss India, we had big sporting events. Things were going well, but unfortunately, some incidents have happened due to which there has been a setback. But we are on track now to recover and to rebuild our state and to make sure that our state catches up with the rest and then becomes one of the most developed states in the country. And now, change in the higher education, aligning with industry, business or professional requirements in various streams of studies is crucial, as it will help our students to develop themselves as innovators and job creators. Now, scientific inventions and entrepreneurial innovations shall contribute a lot to employment generation and help in socio-economic development of the state and making Manipur the true gateway of India to Southeast Asian countries. Keeping in view the human resource potential our state has, and I've traveled the world, I've seen a lot of academic institutions all over. I can assure you that our human resource potential is per capita one of the best, if not in the country, even in the world, we can say. We just have to ensure that the proper infrastructure, proper facilities are provided so that we can develop into a vibrant economy with initiative from different sections of society for a new knowledge creation, skill development, and entrepreneurship for generating more employment and productive workforce. Now, as we know, Manipur youths are extremely talented. But the challenge before us is how do we create employment for our youth? In terms of government jobs, it's very limited. We are a total population of about 30 lakh people, 3 million. And out of this, only about 1 lakh odd people, young people, can be employed in the government sector. So what about the rest? We have 6 to 7 lakh young people who are so-called educated, may not be skilled properly, but educated, who have got degrees. How do we give them access to jobs? This is one of the huge challenges which faces us today as a government and as a state, as a people. And now we have to ensure that Manipur goes along with the country. The country is heading towards a Vikshit Bharat, which is a developed nation by 2047. And the country cannot become a Vikshit Bharat without Manipur. Manipur also has to develop hand in hand with the rest of the country. And now the policies of the government of India is such that they are ensuring that Manipur definitely gets a piece, a pie of the cake that is the government of India's initiatives which come there. Now, how do we take advantage of that? How do we reap the benefits of whatever we have, the talent we have, and the resources that we have? That is a challenge. And for the country to be self-sufficient and prosperous, democratic and secure, and also we need good governance and low levels of corruption. The people also need to enjoy a good quality of life, which requires a well-ordered society resting on 3 building blocks. And please remember this. This is particularly crucial in these times currently that we are facing in Manipur now, which is the rule of law. The rule of law has to be enforced strictly. We have to make our society, our state function as per the rule of law, as per the Constitution. That is paramount in this today's time that we are facing, the challenging times that we are facing. Secondly, a strong state. And thirdly, democratic accountability. These are 3 things which are required to take our state and our country forward to make it a developed state in the developed country by 2047. Now, the rule of law, which means a lot to me because I happen to be the law minister of the state also. So, we have to, as legislators, as elected people, we have to make laws, not break laws. This one thing I want to be very certain about. Say, for example, the recent last week's controversy regarding the CBSE affiliation of certain schools in the state. Now, we are not isolating certain schools or certain districts. We are looking at the state as a whole. Are we following the rule of law? Are we going by the rules and regulations that are required to make it a civilized society, to make our state, develop? So those are important questions. And what happened was certain schools were recommended by certain authorities who were not authorized to give no objection certificate for affiliation to the Central Board of Secondary Education. That was the issue. When a particular school wants to get affiliated to CBSE, it has to follow certain steps and request for a no objection certificate from the state government. What happened was certain unauthorized people, maybe their signatures were forged also. We'll find that out. We're having an inquiry. But such things should not happen in any civilized society. You cannot forge signatures. You will go to jail. If you forge people's signature, official signature, you have to face the law and the legal consequences of that. So that is what we are doing. Now, it is not that certain schools were, identified and selected for this, to cancel the affiliation. No. It is for the entire state. Manipur as a whole, we want the state to observe the rule of law, observe rules and procedures, and those who don't will be also taken to task as per the law. We will proceed against them, we will file FIRs, we will cancel, whatever needs to be done will be done. So that is, I think, very crucial now. Our Honorable Chief Minister has also mentioned a few days back that the state has to follow the rule of law, nothing else will be tolerated. Second is a strong state, which is very important, I think, because it does not mean an authoritarian state where the state can do whatever it likes. No, it means that rules are enforced public goods are delivered like safety, education, health, gender empowerment, and financial inclusion. These are very important aspects that we need to look at from the government side. Of course, today's the function is about the national education policy, but in today's day and age, everything comes together. The national education policy, the Viksit Bharat, the rule of law in a state, everything has to be seen holistically so that we can move forward as a state, as a society, and then take part in the country's progress towards becoming a developed nation or a Viksit Bharat. And of course, the third and the most important is democratic accountability. Now people say any issue comes up, elected representatives are doing this, that. No, it is a system we have to follow. Elected representatives are elected for a period of 5 years. They will have to perform. If they don't perform, after 5 years their examination will come. The people will vote them out. People will tell them, reject them. So that is the system we're following as a democratic country. We have to follow the system. We cannot take the law in our own hands and just say that whatever we feel like, today you take charge and today you leave and you also come and govern the state. No, we cannot do that. We have to follow certain set norms of a democratic society. That, and of course in this, an independent media and an impartial judiciary. All these come together to make the elements of a truly democratic society, as one should call it. So our journey towards development, towards progress will not be easy, but it's not impossible. And we should focus not only on the quantum of growth, that we are becoming the fifth largest economy. We have become the fifth largest. By another 4-5 years, we will become the third largest economy. But more important than that, I think we should focus also on the quality of life for our common citizens so that everyone prospers together and not only the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. No, everyone should progress together. So I appeal to all the scientists, faculty members, researchers and young minds who are gathered here today to rethink and reorient their mindset to make themselves more creative, innovative, and productive people in society. Manipur should not be left behind when new opportunities come up in the light of the new National Education Policy 2020. We need to produce more young and vibrant, creative innovators, entrepreneurs, and skilled manpower in different walks of life so that due to their valued activities, their activities are very valuable, the social and economic benefits will percolate down to all sections of society. That, I think, is crucial. And lastly, I want to express my heartfelt thanks to the resource persons from other prestigious institutions who are gathered here today for their gracious presence in our state. I am also thankful to the organizers for organizing such an important conference on NEP 2020. I wish them all the very best, and the National Conference on NEP 2020, opportunities and the way forward, I wish it a grand success. Thank you all, and Pumnavapur Havachari. Thank you.
इकाई खुमजरीबा शिक्षा मंत्री मणिपुर श्री थौनाउजम बसंत कुमार से नसीगी थोरम सिगी इकाई खुमजरीबा अथोइबा मुथुंगे नोइना कमलयानबो वाफम कया खंबिरंबा हनहना थागत फोंगोचरी. Our Honorable Education Minister, a visionary leader who has been a driving force behind the nation's commitment to education excellence. Our esteemed Education Minister is not just a public servant, he is a catalyst for positive change. Thank you so much, sir, for that remarkable address to the gathering. Thank you so much once again. And may I now have the privilege to request Professor Kiran Hajarika, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, New Delhi, to address the gathering.
Khurumjari to all this big gathering. Namaskar. I feel privileged myself that I am here in front of this intellectual. Our distinguished guest in the dais, especially the chief guest, your popular leader, Sri Basant Singh Ji, Professor Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, Professor Avinash Pandey, Director of Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Professor Ganga Prasad Parsen Sir, Vice Chancellor of Tripura University, Professor N. Rajmohan Singh Ji, Vice Chancellor, Dhanamanjari University, Professor P. Guninda Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, Professor Krishnan Vaskar, Director, IIIT Manipur, Sri H. Gyan Prakash Ji, IAS, Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University and Commissioner, Education, Dr. of Manipur, and Professor Indira, Madam Dean of Central Agricultural University. So, already we come to know that this 2-day national conference is a mega event which is jointly organized by Manipur University, Dhanamanjari University, Central Agricultural University, Manipur University of Culture, IIT, Director of Higher Education, and Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Sansthan. Normally one question arises, this is a new organization, perhaps you have, first time you have attended such program, mega event organized by the, jointly event organized by the Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Sansthan. So Vidya Bharati, being a secretary, National Secretary of Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Sansthan, that I am going to say that this Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Sansthan is a voluntary organization. Its objective, its motto, to make environment in the educational institution for the quality education. Because all of we know that we have 42,000 colleges all over the countries and more than 1,000 universities in our countries. But we have the population of 140 million. So the university perhaps being existing in the present constant stars, it is not enough to educate our people. So the Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Sansthan is a policy advocacy organization for the quality education in higher educational institution in India. So now we have 52 institutions affiliated with us, and we have already established 3 universities. One university we established, that is Chanakya University in Bangalore, and another, this is Prague University in Guwahati, and third one is a research institution, Indian Institute of Research, Socio-Economic and Research Development, that is in Noida, Delhi. So, being an educational institution, Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Sansthan, the first organization who, after implementation, immediate declaration of the NEP 2020, we have designed and developed a portal that is My NEP 2020, My NEP. So My NEP, that is provoke the national education policy in India. So more than 300, we have organized 350 interview with the various intellectual persons, expert on education, expert on various subjects, and that is uploaded in our portal, MINEP 2020. So, other than we, even the NCF, the National Curriculum Framework, that is declared and inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Manya Narendra Modi ji, in the 29th of July in Bharat Mandapam, that is in Pragati Maidan. It's a national curriculum framework that was announced, and more than 15 languages, the scriptures of various books are published in more than 15 languages. That NEP, but being a Vidyavarti education institution, Vidyavarti Ucha Shiksha Samsthan, we organize 32 seminars all over the countries and getting expert recommendation for the formulation of NCF, National Curriculum Framework. On the basis of our recommendation, we become a feeder body for the government, and our recommendation and suggestion has been accepted by the Government of India, Ministry of Education, and that was published in NCF. So now University Grant Commission already formulated one committee headed by the Suchma Yadav, Professor Suchma Yadav. She's a commission member of in the UGC also, and she's pro-vice chancellor of Central University, Haryana. Now, the responsibility given to her, she has to conduct the 42 subjects modular curriculum. So, for the modular curriculum, the Vidyavarti Ucha Shiksha Samsthan, we have decided to organize 27 seminars and workshops in 27 subjects. Already 6 subject seminars already been over. Even IUAC director is here present, Professor Avinash Pandey. In his center, this Inter-University Accelerator Center, we organize Hindi and literature language seminar in that for 3-day seminars organized in their institution. So we are getting a lot of good suggestions and recommendations for the implementation of the Indian knowledge system in the light of NEP 2020. All of you know the Indian knowledge system, Indian knowledge, we are reaching this education policy provoked for the introduction of Indian knowledge system. Because therefore, this policy is called Indo-centric policy. It is Indo-centric policy. The another characteristic is student-friendly policy. The student can choose their subjects. The student can go for learn in their mother language, respective mother language. So this is the first policy who emphasized to introduce and develop the mother language. Even being a pro-vice chancellor of IGNO, very recently we developed the Manipuri program also. So Manipuri online program we already introduced, and so the students of this part Manipuri will get the facility from IGNO also. But it will be connected with the Swayam portal, that is MOOCs portal, massive online courses. Therefore, the student can get the facility. So, this is the Indo-centric policy. This is the student-friendly policy. The student can multiple exit and a multiple entry system is there for student benefit. Academic bank of credit, which has been already introduced by the Education Ministry. It's the largest portal in India. Already more than 2 crore students have been registered themselves in this portal. So after the registration in the portal, academic bank depository portal, a student will get the benefit to go for another course also. So University Grant Commission already announced conferring the twinning degree. A student can opt twinning degree. A student can go for any other courses. Suppose so multidisciplinary system also been introduced by the UGC now in the light of the NEP 2020. So I am a student of economics. I can go for the agriculture also because agriculture university is there. So I can go for 6-month course in the agriculture university if I am interested. Then my 6 months credit will come in my account. So my session will be not lost. So this is the very beneficiary for the students. So students will get the easily their benefit. So my dear friends, this policy, so being a Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha Samsthan, so it's a policy advocacy organization, and we are going for quality education. Even we are establishing in institutions also. Already I said there was the research institution already. One batch of intern already we have been introduced, and it is being over 50 student internship. And now we are planning to introduce more than 500 internships, because University Grant Commission already suggested to the respective universities to in undergraduate course students also go for the internship during their vacation period. So minimum in a single semester 30 or 15 days internship is necessary for the student, because this internship program will develop the students. It will open the IQ of the student for go for the research activity, because this policy is provoking and emphasizing for the innovation and research activity. Because now we see the Manipuri, but we have a lot of a rich history of Manipur, but we don't know. It is not being taught in our curriculum. But why it is not taught? But we should go for the research. We have to finding out the good things of this our past histories. This is Kanglapur, but nobody know. But it is not taught in our curriculum. So this should be taught in our curriculum, not only in the Manipur, in the northeast as well as the country also. Lachit Barpukar, we don't know. Shivaji, Bhagat Singh, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, we don't know. But you see the one of the person, 23 years boy, he met the Hitler. Hitler se shab darta hai, but he met the Hitler. He organized the army from every part of the country, every part of the world. In his army, from Germany joined, from Japan, from Indonesia, from everywhere he joining. The army man is joining from every part of the world. This is the Subhash Chandra Bose, but it has not been taught in our curriculum. But this is the thinking point. Therefore, our this Indo-centric education policy will certainly develop our new India. That is Vikashit Bharat 2047, very recently declared by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Because after 25 years, because in 1947 we had independence from the British rule, and within 100 years we have to be a developed country in the world. Our existence to be a developed country by 2047. ये हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है. We all of we are responsible. In our every field, I am an educationist. I have to do hard work in my part. Then India will be given. In Manipur, India is a part of the Manipur. Bharat, Manipur also. So largest numbers of good road in Manipur, largest numbers of connectivity, largest numbers of train connectivity, airport connectivity, everything will be developed. Food, electricity, everything will be developed. Our indigenous food has to be developed. So this is the vision of 2047. This is not a Bharat. Sometimes some question may arise, this Bharat, that is another. Why need to read about our ancient history? But ancient history, the past history, we was the world Vishwaguru. And once upon a time was a Vishwaguru. We naming all the world countries. We naming all the countries. So Nalanda, Taxila, Ujjain, Pushpagiri, Vikramshila, like that university was established before 2500 years ago. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, like civilizations were there. But we forgotten ourselves. our science, our technology, our thoughts has been tapped by the invaders. So all these things will be discussed later on in our technical session by tomorrow. So I am concluding my simple note here. So thanking for the organizer for inviting me to sharing some views with you. Thank you very much.
For sharing your profound knowledge with us. May I now request Professor G.P. Prashant, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, to share with us some few words.
Respected Chief Guest, Shri T.H. Basanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, Professor L. Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Professor L. Rajmohan Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dhanmanjari University, Imphal, Professor P. Gunindra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Central Manipur University of Culture, Professor Krishna Bhaskar, Director, Triple IIT, Manipur, Imphal, Shri S. Gyan Prakash, IS, Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University and Commissioner Education, Government of Manipur, Professor Kiran Hazarika, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, New Delhi, Professor Indira Sarangkhen, Dean, Central Agriculture University, Imphal, Director, University and Higher Education, Government of Manipur, Deans of different schools of Manipur University, heads and faculty members of different departments of Manipur University, Dhanmanjari University, Central Agriculture University, resource persons, faculty members from different colleges of Manipur, students, invitees, representatives of media, both print and electronics, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, I congratulate Manipur University and other partner universities and institutions for organizing a two-day national conference on National Education Policy 2020 Opportunities and Way Forward. Today, I shall not share the theoretical aspects of NEP 2020. We all know that since 29 July 2020, we have been discussing, we have been sharing our knowledge, our idea, and also we have listened several times to the theoretical aspects of the policy document of NEP 2020. And now, in almost all the universities in India, we have started implementing the teaching as per NEP 2020. I will share some of the practical difficulties which I am facing as a Vice Chancellor of Tripura University, and I know that in Manipur also, in other states also, we are facing similar problems for the purpose of implementation of NEP 2020 in undergraduate and postgraduate program in different universities, including Manipur University and Tripura University. Yes, we have prepared the regulation of 4-year undergraduate program for 8th semester. There are courses like, just for example, in first semester, second semester, there are courses like major, minor, interdisciplinary, skill enhancement course, ability enhancement course, and value-added course. For example, in BSc first year, we have physics in major, chemistry in minor. And now, there is a provision for adopting or studying or offering one subject from other discipline like arts and commerce, that we call, say, interdisciplinary courses. Major, minor, then interdisciplinary. So, for example, we have given option to a student for offering a subject from other discipline. Say, I was talking about physics honors, physics minor, chemistry major, for example. Then he may offer sociology, psychology, Manipuri or English, whatever, as interdisciplinary courses. Now, our question is, are our colleges have facility, teacher, infrastructure, classroom, books in library, and course content for teaching major, minor, interdisciplinary resource. I know that in colleges where we are going to implement or we have implemented, we have already started teaching first semester, now we are in the second semester. So in Tripura University, we have completed first semester as per NEP 2020. Examination is due from the second week of January 2024. I am facing many problems. Say for example, in the topic of value-added course or skill enhancement course or ability enhancement course, there are courses like, say for example, NCC, NSS. We know that in our time, there was no subject called NCC or NSS in theory. I have offered NCC, IMC certificate, pass holder of NCC. There are many teachers who have passed NCC certificate. Now in colleges, I told, come on, you are NCC C certificate holder, you teach NCC subject because we have made 2 credit compulsory for NCC and 4 credit compulsory for NSS. Teachers are reluctant. They come, sir, I was not a student of NSS. I was not a student of NSS, therefore I cannot teach. Now there are books. I told them, come on, this is book. You have to read and teach. A student is always, a teacher is always a student in his life. We are teachers, we read and teach. Therefore, yes, NCC and NSS may not be a subject which was studied by you in college, but as per NEP 2020, we have basket of courses. Say in skill enhancement course, in ability enhancement course, in value-added course. There are basket of courses. There are many courses. College has to offer 1 or 2 courses out of them. Now, are they a teacher? Our director of university higher education is here. Just now, honorable minister was there. I want to draw the attention, sir. First of all, if we want to implement NEP 2020 in full strength, the first and primary question or responsibility or duty is to fill up or to appoint faculty members for teaching those subjects. I know in many colleges in Manipur, in government colleges, there are many posts which are lying vacant since many years. Many teachers have retired, many teachers have expired, but posts are still lying vacant. Therefore, with shortage of teachers, how can we implement NEP 2020 effectively? Therefore, first and foremost task is to fill up the existing vacancy, and number 2, we need to create new posts for teaching new subject also as per the course content, course curriculum of NEP 2020. Then only we can think of way forward, because we are talking about roadmap of NEP 2020. Therefore, practical experience is that let us first create sufficient infrastructure. What I mean by sufficient infrastructure is that number 1, there should be sufficient number of faculty members. Number 2, there should be sufficient number of classrooms. Number 3, there should be sufficient number of books. Do we have books as per NEP 2020? Answer is that we have few books. We have books, but we do not have sufficient books. Therefore, as a Vice Chancellor of Tripura University, I am trying there to prepare textbook for colleges as per NEP 2020. We know that there are not major changes. Almost all the courses in major, minor, interdisciplinary are almost same, but we have to redraft, we have to restructure the course content and course syllabus, and we have to teach accordingly. This is a new challenge. Our country, India, is moving forward to make GER, gross enrollment ratio, 50% by 2035. It is possible only when we have to, create minimum infrastructure for successfully implementation of guidelines of NEP 2020. This is a very, very challenging task, but we can. These are not impossible, these are possible. Only thing is that all the faculty members, all the administrator, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Dean, HOD, and other faculty members and government of different states have to support for implementation, for creation, for addition of infrastructure. Then only we can think of fully implementing and for making a way forward, a roadmap, so that we can become Atmanirbhar in education also. We are talking about Atmanirbhar, Vikashit Bharat. By 2047, we are planning, we are preparing, we are working for making our country Bharat #1. But this is possible only when we are, fully geared up for making this possible with support of all of us. I will not take much time because many speakers have spoken and there are more speakers. What I like to draw your attention is that yes, we have a very, very good opportunities for implementing NEP 2020 and make our country Bharat Atmanirbhar and #1 even in education also by 2047, and also we shall be able to make our GR up to 50% by the year 2035 only when if we are already by creating all this infrastructure. I am very happy that the topic which have been selected for discussion are like employment, startup, vocational education and skill development, Indian knowledge system, innovation, research and development in higher education institutions, implementation of NEP 2020 and major policy initiatives, issues, challenges and way forward. Yes, these are the topics which must be discussed and we must share our knowledge and we should try to prepare a policy document which will certainly help us for implementing NEP 2020 very effectively in the colleges of all the states of northeastern India. And I believe that this decision, the outcomes, the policy decision which we shall bring out after throughout the discussion in this 2-day session will be very, very helpful for policy planner, for the Honorable Vice Chancellor in implementing.
Thank you, Professor G.B. Kashayan, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, for that very energetic and words of wisdom. Thank you so much, sir. May I now have the privilege to request Professor N. Raj Mohan Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipuri University, to share some few words.
Very good evening. Respected Sri T.H. Basanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, who led very recently, Professor and Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor of Manipur University and President of this 2-day national conference, respected Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, respected Professor G.P. Prasad, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, respected Professor P. Gunendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, Professor Kishan Bhaskar, Director, IIT Manipur, Sri Gyan Prakash, IAS, respected Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University and Commissioner, Education, Government of Manipur, Professor Kiran Hazarika, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNU, New Delhi, Professor Indira Saunten, Dean, Central Agricultural University, respected Dr. Rangdawali Vaikom, Director, University and Higher Education, Government of Manipur, distinguished invitees, faculty members of universities and colleges, media persons, ladies and gentlemen. My previous speakers have highlighted in depth about this National Education Policy 2020 opportunities and the way forward. Today, globally as well as nationally, we have some important visions. Number one is United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030 with 17 goals including education. And the second one, particularly for our country, is Viksit Bharat, Develop India at the rate 2047, Voice of the Youth. And the third one is National Education Policy 2020 that we are going to discuss. Friends, this 21st century has been referred to as the knowledge century. In this knowledge century, quality education, which incorporates human values, moral values, and spiritual values, will play a very important and critical role, because education is the main key to unlock the main gate to civilization and modernization. Honorable Minister also rightly said, yes, education is the most important weapon that you can use to change anything in a positive direction. The NEP 2020 envisions an education system rooted in Indian ethos that contributes directly to transforming India sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all and thereby making India a global knowledge superpower. Great emphasis has been laid in the policy on equipping the students with the 21st century skills. The NEP 2020 is a landmark document which proposes several structural changes in early as well as in the higher education system. This is a bold and indomitable spirit, new initiative taken by the government of India under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for overall national development, economic growth, equitable society, and quality education. NEP 2020 is comprehensive, holistic, far-sighted, and will certainly play a pivotal role in nation's future growth. The world today is undergoing rapid and concurrent economic, demographic, social, and technological changes. The pace of change, which is increasing exponentially day by day, is outpacing the past and bringing us close to the future prematurely. In this scenario, reimagining the universities is very, very essential to make them effective and future ready. Yes, only through quality education we can produce committed, responsible, disciplined, well-integrated and socially sensitive citizens who will be the greatest asset of our country. Ignited minds of 300 million youth of the country are the most powerful resource. A nation can progress only when the potentials of the youth is channelized in a constructive way. In this regard, education will play a very, very important role. The Bharatiya knowledge system, BKS, are deep-rooted in pluralistic ethos, providing creative expression, value sustenance, belief patterns, and lifestyle to the society. They contribute to the integral development of students' personality, sensitizing them towards the environment and society. Integrating Indian knowledge system with higher education will not only lead to sustainable development initiatives, but also offer practical and holistic solutions to the pressing global challenges of our time. By blending ancient wisdom with modern science and technology, we can create a more sustainable and harmonious future for our planet and its inhabitants. This integration will help us to achieve the vision of NEP 2020 to develop an education system deeply rooted in ethos, driving the transformation of Bharat into a sustainable and equitable knowledge society through holistic education so that Bharat attains the Vishwaguru position once again. Projecting the landscape of higher education in the year 2047 shall involve a lot of speculation, as the future will depend upon the complex interplay of social, technological, economic, and cultural factors. Based on current trends and the potential developments, it is in the right time to discuss on them related to prospective higher education in 2047 to provide a glimpse into the potential directions higher education could take in the year 2047, when India celebrates 100 years of its independence. The America from 2022 to 2047 holds a lot of potential in terms of shaping our higher education to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Therefore, for the year 2023-2024, All India University AIU has chosen the main theme is higher education at the rate 2047. Today, university and higher education institutions need to shift from the factory model of information delivery to the knowledge-based model of integrated, collaborative, and lifelong learning. University should be a hub where all the creative thinking, critical thinking, and creativity is culture for dissemination to our society. Education is now equated with capital. Our universities must therefore be reinvented to act as catalysts for generation of intellectual capital towards sustainable development of the whole societies. The NEP 2020 is a transformative step in the right direction on a number of fronts. However, any policy is only good as its implementation. For this, we need proper and adequate infrastructure, top quality human resources, adequate funding, favoring working conditions, excellence in teaching and research, good and visionary leadership, academic freedom and atmosphere of intellectual excitement. Achieving successful implementation of New Education Policy 2020 demands a long-term vision, availability of expertise, a sustained basis, and concerted actions from all concerned stakeholders, encompassing national, regional, state, institutional, and individual levels. Many challenges are yet to be faced, and if we could do so, NEP 2020 will help transform India into a global educational powerhouse as envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister. To conclude, we really need a truly excellent global university rooted in the local context, but spreading fragrance around the world like the lily, rooted in its humdrum pond, but spreading its beauty and fragrance far and wide. Details of this two-day National Conference on National Education Policy 2020, opportunities and the way forward will be discussed tomorrow in the technical sessions, and I wish this 2 days conference a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor M. Raj Mohan Singh, Vice Chancellor, Dhanamantri University, for your invaluable knowledge. Thank you so much, sir, once again. May I now request Professor Saranthim Indira, Dean, College of Agriculture, Central Agricultural University, Imphal, to share some few words.
A very good evening. Kurumjari, namaskar to everybody. On dais, our respected Sri Basanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, and all the Vice Chancellors of, and the Directors of different universities and institutions, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Professor Z.P. Prashan, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, and Professor N. Rajbhan Singh, Vice Chancellor, Dhanamanjari University, and Professor P. Gunindra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipuri University of Culture, Professor Krishnananan Bhaskar, Director, Triple IT Manipur, Imphal, Sri H. Gyan Prakash, IS Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University and Commissioner, Education, Government of Manipur, and Professor Kiran Hajarika, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, New Delhi, all the dignitaries and all the resource persons, all directors, deans, and heads and professors, faculties and students of different universities, ladies and gentlemen, press and media persons. Today is very important and auspicious day, is we are inaugurating a 2-day national conference on National Education Policy 2020, and in this we will discuss about the opportunities and the way forward 2020-21. In this 2 days program, we will discuss the opportunities, the insignificance, all these things we will discuss, and this session will come out with some decision that we will be a roadmap for our way to forward. In India, almost all the universities, they have started this NEP program. In Manipur also we have started, and the Central Agricultural University started with multiple exit and entry program in natural farming. And in this we have different certificate program, 1 year, 2 years diploma program, 3 years degree program, and 4 year is honors program. And in this there will be exit and entry based on the credit loads that slot is there. And the total credit hour is 185 at the end of the 4th year, that is the honors program. My friends, we are discussing this new education policy of India that provides an opportunity and has opened the gateway to introduce various changes in the education system, including higher agricultural education, pursuant to the decision of implementation of NEP 2020 by the central government. A national level committee was constituted by the ICR to develop an implementation strategy to comply with various provisions of NEP 2020. In this direction, several meetings and consultations were held to deliberate with various stakeholders and based on the principles and philosophy of NEP 2020. A roadmap and implementation strategy for NEP 2020 in education system has been prepared, which we shall be discussing in this very important 2 days conference on NEP 2020, opportunities and way forward. Government of India announced one of the most transformative public policy initiative. That is what? That is our National Education Policy 2020 in the year 2020. The policy envisions a complete overhaul and a re-energizing of the higher education system. The two main thrusts of this policy regarding higher education systems are to end the fragmentation. Fragmentation of what? Our higher education by transforming higher education institutions into large multidisciplinary universities and colleges, and to reorient the academic structure in ways that include vocational education in higher education at entry level. It is intended to provide opportunity to large number of students to undertake higher education of varying types, like as I have discussed, certificate course, diploma course, a degree course, a postgraduate degree or PhD also. So students will have to get this much freedom to complete their education, both in terms of years as well as courses. I hope and trust that the outcomes of the deliberations during the conference among leading experts, administrators, and senior faculties of different higher education institutions of Manipur shall help us in building up a complete roadmap with a specific timelines that may lead to complete overhaul and re-energize the higher agricultural education system to overcome two challenges currently being faced regionally and nationally, and thereby deliver high quality higher education with equity and inclusion in the northeastern region of India. With this, I thank you all and wish all of you a great session ahead. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Professor Sarandhe Indira, Dean, College of Agriculture, Central Agricultural University, Imphal, for that remarkable address. And it is with great respect and anticipation that I profoundly request Professor P. Gunindra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, to address us.
Sabko pranam. I convey my regards to each and everyone who are gathering here in this auditorium. My regards to all the honorable members of the dais, Sri P.S. Basanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, who left some minutes before due to some works, pre-COVID works. Professor N. Dr. Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. Professor Avinash Pandeyji, Director, Inter University Accelerator, Center, New Delhi. Professor G. Persen, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University. Professor N. Rajmohan Singh, Vice Chancellor, Dhanmanjali University. And Madam Indira Saranken, representative of Anupam Misraji. And Professor Kishan Bhaskar, Director, IIT, Manipur Imphal. Sri S. Janprakash, IS, Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University. And Commissioner, Education Government of Manipur. Professor Kiran Hazarika, Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, New Delhi. All the delegates, friends of print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are gathering here to discuss opportunities and the way forward about NEP 2020, which will be discussed tomorrow thoroughly. Regarding the NEP 2020, I think for the last 2 years, in many forums, in many conferences of the country, many discussions were held. I believe we all gathering here are quite aware of the NEP 2020. Anyway, I would like to emphasize certain points, particularly our tomorrow's program, that is Indian knowledge system, that is Bharatiya Jnanam Parampara. Because one of the most significant aspects of ancient Indian is ancient Indian education system, which is totally holistic and sustainable development structure. I have come across a very interesting slokas in the scripture, Indian scripture, particularly in the Vedas, in the Rig Vedas, and it is again reported by Sanitya Kautli Arthasastra. The very concept of Indian education is Swadeshe Pujate Raja Swadeshe Pujate Raja Vidyan Sabatra Pujate. The king is worshipped only by his subjects, only in his country, but scholars are worshipped everywhere throughout the world. Whether it is Indian, whether it is Japanese, whether it is Chinese, any scholar is worshipped throughout the world. That is the very concept of ancient Indian education system, besides the holistic and knowledge system. We all know, we all heard about the ancient Indian university. One is Takshashila, presently at Punjab province of Pakistan, and another one is Nalanda University. Why I quote these two universities particularly? In those days, before the Christian era, the University of Takshashila, there were 2,000 teachers and 10,000 students, and taught all the disciplines. More than 64 disciplines were taught, right from politics, music, dance, fine arts, warfare, statecraft, and whatnot, mathematics, grammar, all these were taught. Today, we are discussing about the linguistics. When we talk about linguistics, we come across the Panini Astadhyayi, Panini the grammarian, 8 ideas of Panini, which is far, far ahead of today's Chomsky and Hawkins. Likewise, Sharat, our medicine, Ayurveda, and the another one is Kautilya, Arthasastra of Kautilya, Sanitya. So, what they did in those days, in a very holistic manner, all the subjects were there, taught, right from the warfare, statecraft, music, dance, grammar, astrology, astronomy, algebra, mathematics, fine arts. These subjects were taught in a very holistic manner. And again, we are talking today about Nalanda University, which was destroyed by Muhammad Gori. And we have come across our early worker, the great mathematician. In those days, our knowledge system was much far ahead of the PBT stage. So, what I would like to say is this. There in this NEP 2020, I think there are many points about the Indian knowledge systems. Bharatiya Gyan Parampara. In certain points, this ancient education system, say for example, in Chandego Upanishads, Taikya Upanishads, there is deep philosophy about the education system and lofty doctrines about the various systems. Today, it seems the value system is eroding. So, from one point, we need to evolve, to study, to enlighten many of the students about the value systems which was left by our forefathers. There were 68 basic courses in Taxila and as well as in Nalanda University. I think in NAP 2020 also, there are many elements regarding the Indian knowledge system, value system, and all these things. Regarding all these things about opportunities and the way forward about NEP 2020, tomorrow, I think things matter will be discussed more thoroughly. It's not possible to say I knew all this about these things. So I hope there are 4 sessions tomorrow: employability, starters, vocational education, and skill development, which will be presented papers by 5 research persons. And Indian knowledge system, innovation, research and development in HEIS, which would be represented by 5 research persons. And implementation of NEP 2020 and major policy initiative, issues, challenges, and way forward, which should be delivered by 5 research persons. I believe tomorrow many important things will be come out, and we'll try to apply as hard as possible. I hope, I wish a grand success for tomorrow's discussion. Thank you all. Thank you.
Professor P. Kunindra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, for that remarkable address. May I now have the honor to request Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director, IIIT Manipur, to share some few words.
Respected chief guest of today's program, the Honorable Education Minister, Basant Singh Ji, and distinguished Vice Chancellors on the dais, the Vice Chancellors from outside the state of Manipur, my friend Professor Avinash Pandey, Professor Ganga Prasad, and Professor Kiran Ji, and distinguished faculty members, and more importantly, the person who has been running for last few weeks, the chairman organizing committee, Professor Ibol Meiti Ji, and invitees, press and media. Good evening to all of you. I think we are already late by about 40 minutes, and it's difficult to sit long hours in the evening, I understand. And therefore, I would like to brief my speech maybe like 5 to 6 minutes instead of, though the time is given for 10 minutes. I was late because I'm directly coming from the airport, and I consider that this is one of the important programs. I do not want to miss it. And you know, the importance is also very well known because the 7 organizations have come together and collectively organized this National Education Policy 2020 opportunities and their way forward. As many of the invited speakers pointed out, it is one of the important education program of this century. And you know, if you want to destroy any society or any country, you destroy the education system. That is why the British, the English could destroy our culture, tradition and legacy by introducing the Macaulay system of education. They trained us how to be a gumastas, like clerks, to listen to the British. I think it took long years, though earlier educations have made little transformation, but it's not very effective. But the new education policy 2020, it has a lot of very important points it touches upon, starting from early childhood education. Because the early childhood education is very, very important. The emphasis is given to learn the education through mother tongue. Because today, many of the students, including the teachers, practice the rote learning. Because when you used to learn from the foreign language at the early education, the understanding of the subject is difficult. If you do not know the subject, if you do not acquire the knowledge properly, you cannot have an innovative idea to have a creativity. That creativity alone can lead to invention. Therefore, that is the reason why the quality of the education has been given importance in the elementary education. Because today you see that the 8th standard is enough for a driver, but the driver could not able to write his script sheet also. I think many of our drivers also like that. But the education, the policy 2020 has emphasized that if you are a 3rd grade, it has to be ascertained by the teachers that they have acquired the level of the 3rd grade. I think sometimes politically people criticize that what is the exam for the 3rd grade? It is not the exam for the 3rd grade. It is the duty of the teacher to see that the slow learners are also made to learn so that they get qualified for the 3rd grade or 5th grade or 8th grade. That is the reason why, because the yearly foundation of the quality education is very, very important. Because when they come to the higher education, then you can see lot of transformation in terms of science and technology and innovation. And also the NEP 2020 has given emphasis to have a minimum dropout. That's why these Anganwadis have been strengthened. I am extremely happy that today the Manipur state government has also launched the Saint Kongcho for the HIV and hepatitis B and C affected candidates, because it's basically a small way to prevent the dropouts. It is a small way to help the students to continue the education. That is also one of the aspects of this education policy. And then it has given a lot of emphasis on the contemporary programs. Like, because the country like India is known for mathematics, the STEM related program, the women should be empowered. Because even when you look at, even in those days, Einstein used to say that we have to salute to the Indians who taught us how to count, because we are the inventors of the zero. And then when you take about Aryabhatas and all those things, you know, we had a very great mathematicians like Ramanujan in Tamil Nadu. And these are all the legacy, apart from our great universities and Vishwaguru and all those things. Therefore, the education policy has given not only for the importance for the contemporary things like artificial intelligence and then machine learning, data science, and also cyber security and other related technologies which is emerging today, it is also would like to bring and keep the legacy by bringing back our old performing arts and culture and traditions. And I think that is also very, very important. Because these are the things to be inculcated among the young minds. Because when you go to the Japan and you can see that the way they try to keep the roots, they try to keep the culture, though they enjoy the modern facilities. I think the NEP is 2020 is a wonderful initiative by the Government of India. and see that when you achieve the objectives of the NEP 2020, and we are going to be the knowledge superpower in the world. Because today we contribute to nearly 20% of the youth population of the world, and therefore unless we give a quality education, we are not only going to bring this Viksit Bharat by 2047, but we are also not going to help the world where we have an aging population. And I am sure that this tomorrow's program, we have 3 sections on various topics of innovation, science and technology. I request all of you to attend and participate and get the insight from the experts. Experts have come from all over the country. I think they will throw a lot of light, and you and your students and your colleagues, and ensure that large number of participants will be coming and participating. And with respect to topic like opportunities and way forward, and you know these opportunities enormous today. I think when you look at during the last 9-10 years with respect to innovation, with respect to development, for example, the startup, we are the 3rd largest startup in the world. And you can see that more than 100 unicorn companies. When you say talk about a unicorn startup, it is about more than $1 million. And more than $340 million of economy is ruling from the startup alone. Because this country needs employment opportunity, only the entrepreneurs, the startups can give an employment. Today in our higher education, we have close to 4.5 crore children are doing higher education. Therefore, they need employment apart from an entrepreneurial activity. I think it's the right time we have a right ecosystem. There are a lot of, like for example, if you want to become an entrepreneur, there is not an incubation activity. The ecosystem is very good and conducive now. See, the world is looking at this. Government of India is launching a program of NEP 2020, wherein pandemic is started. But in spite of pandemic, we moved forward. We have made lot of changes in the education system, from the academic bank of credit to integrated programs. We are already marching towards achieving the goals of the NEP 2020. When we talk about even because when you look at the education policy, it has given a tremendous importance for the teachers, because the teachers are the backbone to shape the country, because they are dealing with the young children. The one teacher can make 100 students, or the same teacher can also destroy. Therefore, the quality of the teachers are also very, very important. The recruitment should be made properly so that they shape and give the proper children, so that we will have a developed nation by 2047. And then I think many of us, the higher education institutions in Manipur, already working towards NEP 2020. We have been introducing the new programs. With respect to the IIIT Manipur, and when my friend Professor Avinash Pandey was the first chief guest for the convocation held last year, wherein we had 4 batches of the students since the inception of this institute. The total strength was only 171. One of the objectives of the NEP is minimum facilities and maximum utilization. Now you see that my first year alone is 246 students. And we have a lot of contemporary courses like computer science with artificial intelligence and data science, and electronics and communication system with embedded system and VLSI. And next year we will be also planning to have cyber security. And there are opportunities, but one unfortunate thing is we don't have not even one student from Manipur who is pursuing the BTech programs. And the government is giving a lot of scholarship and loans. And then the government of India has tied up with the banking sector like IFA program, particularly with the Canara Bank. If somebody joins in our institute, and they will get about 30 lakhs of collateral-free loan. And 100% employment is almost guaranteed in the institution. But the children of Manipur is not utilizing the opportunities. Even the Chief Minister also has been addressing these issues in many forums in the past. And I address on this forum that you encourage the children around you, those who are doing the 12th grade, to come to IIIT and study in technological program and contemporary programs. And then the average salary package is about 15 lakhs. And our children are getting even 45 lakhs per annum. Just imagine, last year about close to 8 children have got about 45 lakhs. It's a huge opportunity. And because of the contemporary programs we have in this institute. I think the students and the people of Manipur also utilize these opportunities and then grab the various opportunities available in NEP 2020. I'm sure that this conference will be successful. We have eminent speakers from all over the country, as I mentioned. I request each and every one of you to get benefited out of those deliberations. On this occasion, I thank the organizers for having given me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director, IIT, Manipur, Imphal. Thank you so much, sir, for that commendable speech. Now we will have the honor of hearing from our esteemed guest, Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University and Commissioner, Education, Government of Manipur, Shri H. Gyanprakash, IAS.
Good afternoon to all. My respect to Sri T.H. Basanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Manipur, who has to leave the function due to his engagement, who is chief guest of today's inaugural function of the two-day National Conference on National Education Policy 2020, Opportunities and the Way Forward, jointly organized by NU, DMU, CAU, NUC, IIIT, and Directorate of Higher Education, and Vidya Bharati Uchcha Shiksha Sansthan. My respect to Professor N. Lokendro Singh, VC of Manipur University, who is president of this function. I also pay my respect to esteemed academicians on the dais, Professor Arvind Pandey, Director, Professor G.P. Prasan, Vice Chancellor of Tripura University, Professor N. Rajmohan Singh, VC of DMU, Professor Indira, Dean of Central Agricultural University, Professor P. Gunendra Singh, VC of Manipur University of Culture, Professor Kiran Hazarika, VC of IGNOU, then distinguished academicians of the dais, and faculty members of different higher education institutes, invitees, friends from the print and electronic media, and dear students who are, I don't know how many are here. We all know that educational policy, National Education Policy 2020 was approved by the Union Ministry on 29 July 2020. The policy aims to address various shortcomings that the education sector, including higher education in the country, has been facing. The Manipur State Task Force on Implementation of NEP 2020 was constituted in 2021. The task force has been sitting and monitoring the implementation of the policy in the state. A sub-task force for higher education has also been constituted to look into higher education specific issues on implementation of NEP 2020. Under the able and dynamic leadership and guidance of our Honorable Education Minister, Sri T.H. Basanta Singh, important steps have been taken up by the state government to implement the provisions of the policy. I am briefly listing some of the activities taken up by the state government. Institutional autonomy is an important focus area of NEP 2020 with an aim to empower the colleges and other HEIs of the state. The government has taken up an initiative to get all the colleges and HEIs of the state accredited under NAP in a mission mode since 2021. As of now, out of 51 government and government-aided colleges, 36 colleges have been accredited under NAP. The remaining colleges will be accredited shortly. We are working on that. One government college and 2 government-aided colleges are functioning as autonomous colleges at present. The target of the government is to turn the HEIs into autonomous degree granting institutions in line with the provisions under NEP 2020. As envisioned by the National Education Policy 2020, to ensure multidisciplinary approach in the higher education and provide optimal learning environments and support for students, I am glad to inform you that a 4-year undergraduate program, BA, BSc, BCom, etc., with choice-based credit system, CBCS, has been introduced in the colleges of Manipur with effect from 22-23 academic session. Under this system, facilities for multiple entry and multiple exit are provided to facilitate students' resumption of studies in case of dropping out before completion of EG studies. Academic Bank of Credit, ABC, has been introduced to store the marks, credits scored by every student. The students are also allowed to study different subjects, courses of their choice under CBCS to fulfill the requirement of multidisciplinary higher education provided under NEP 2020. In order to bring about an optimal learning environment in the HEIs of the state as envisaged under NEP 2020, the state government is focusing on providing adequate and modern facilities in its HEIs. Under the initiative of the Honorable Chief Minister of Manipur, College Bhagat Hansi Mission, translated as Let's Improve Our Colleges, is being rolled out from this year. Under this mission, the 24 colleges of the state will be provided up to rupees 2.5 crore each to construct new classrooms this year. The state government has, under the new scheme of PM Usha, submitted 42 proposals to get funding from the central government. The 42 proposals consist of 2 proposals for opening new model degree colleges at Kamjong and Ferjol districts at rupees 15 crore per proposal. 7 proposals for gender equity works in 8 focus districts: Imphal East, Bishnupur, Thoubal, Ukhrul, Senapati, Churachandpur and Tamenglong at rupees 10 crore per district, and 32 proposals for development of 32 government and government-aided colleges located in the 8 districts. We are hopeful that many colleges will get funding under this central government program in the next 3 years. To mitigate the hardship of students due to the situation in the state government has successfully rolled out Chief Minister's College Students Rehabilitation Scheme 2023 to help the displaced students continue their studies without interruption. The government has provided facilities for transfer of colleges to the displaced students. The admission fee for the displaced students has been waived off for the current academic session, and they have been provided with a one-time rehabilitation grant of rupees 10,000 each. To supplement the lack of physical classes, the government has taken up steps to promote digital and blended mode of learning in the HEIs more than before. Modular object-oriented dynamic learning environment known as Moodle online learning system has been introduced in the colleges, and digital hardware have been provided to them to facilitate online learning by the students. E-office and library automation are being introduced to colleges. Online admission procedure and online fee payment system have been introduced in the colleges of Manipur to facilitate easy access of students in admission. The objectives of NEP will not be realized if we leave out students belonging to the socially and economically disadvantaged groups. Under the Chief Minister's College Mahiroigi e-support scheme, free smartphones have been provided to the students belonging to poor families to help them access online and digital education. Mobile phones have been distributed to the first batch of 2,000 beneficiaries under the scheme. For promotion of Hindi language scheme, the department has received a sanction of rupees 40 lakhs as first installment out of the approved sanction of rupees 1 crore from NEC for strengthening the Hindi language section in the libraries of 10 government colleges of Manipur. Girl students are nearly 50% of the student community. For an effective implementation of NEP, HEIs have to be made girls students friendly. Special gym has been established for girl students. Sanitary pad vending machines and incinerators have been installed in the colleges to promote regular attendance of girls in their colleges. For an all-round development of students, we have launched a scheme called College Students Mentoring Scheme, COSME, to mentor the college students and help them develop their social and personal skills. In order to train and build capacity of the staff of colleges in the field of IT, a MOU has been signed between 12 government colleges and National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, NELIT, in the first phase. More collaboration will be established between the colleges of Manipur with other outside institutions in the field of research and training. MOU has been signed with the Educational Multimedia Research Center, Manipur University, to train the faculty members of the colleges in preparing e-resources and participation in e-platforms such as MOOCs and Swayam, etc. We have also signed an MOU with Electronic Sector Skill Council of India on 17 March 2023 on collaboration in skill development and training in the field of electronics and related areas. We have implemented University and Higher Education Faculty Development Scheme for capacity building and empowerment of the faculty members of the institutions to enhance research, development and research for the academic growth and creating a conducive ecosystem in the state. The department will be providing support for minor research and development to women faculty members of HEIs from the institutions towards promotion of women in STEM. I will also briefly touch on the activities taken up by Manipur Technical University. We have started offering 2 years Masters of Business Administration course from the academic session 2021-22 with an intake of 45 students offering different types of specialization in finance, marketing, human resource, rural and agri-business and production and operation. 2 incubation centers have been established, Bamboo Innovation and Incubation Center in collaboration with South Asian Bamboo Foundation to take up various bamboo and bamboo charcoal related technologies for Northeast India, Atal Incubation Center in collaboration with Sikkim Manipur University to undertake various activities for Startup Manipur. MPU has also established 2 cells, one for research and another for intellectual property rights. SRIC sponsored research and industrial consultancy cell is created for the purpose of promotion of externally funded research and development projects and providing consultancy services to industries to meet future needs through capacity building, original research of the highest standard, and leadership in technological innovations for the industrial growth of the state. IPR cell to promote innovation and research culture on the campus, faculty and students-led startups and ventures to help them to protect and respect intellectual property. All the faculty members of MPU are doing their best to achieve all the goals of NEP despite all the difficulties of infrastructure. I am very glad that we are able to jointly organize this 2-day national conference. I am very hopeful that the presence and contribution of eminent academicians and thinkers in our midst will be able to guide us on how to take full advantage of the National Education Policy 2020 and how it should be implemented to give the best of education to our students and to enable to compete with the best in the world. Thank you, everyone.
Education Government of Manipur and Vice Chancellor Manipur Technical University, Shri H. Gyanprakash IAS, for that remarkable address. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not the least, we are fortunate to have with us someone whose leadership and vision have played a pivotal role in shaping the educational landscape of our institution. Please put your hands together and welcome our respected President and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor N. Lokendra Singh.
Shri T.S. Basanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Manipur, Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Professor G.P. Prasad, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, Professor N. Rajmohan Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dhanamandri University, Professor Anupam Mishra, Vice Chancellor, Central University, Central Agricultural University, Professor Indira, Dean, College of Agriculture, Cow, Professor P. Gunendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director, Triple IT, Imphal, Shri Ice Gyan Prakash, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University, and the Commissioner of Education, Government of Manipur, Professor K. Nazarika, Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi, Dr. Rangita Bali, Vice Director of Higher and Technical Education, learned deans of the universities, learned faculties of different universities of Manipur, learned delegates from outside the state, academics, scholars, and their students. We have listened to a number of very learned presentations for a number of honorable members of the dais, now it's my duty to give very briefly the presidential note. New Education Policy 2020 founded on the 5 guiding pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability has to prepare our youths to meet the national and the global challenges of the present and the future, and also teachers who would play a pivotal role in realizing these goals. NEP 2020 also envisioned an India-centric education system that will directly contribute to the development of our country into an equitable and a vibrant knowledge society by giving them a top-class and a relevant quality education. The system would focus on a strong culture of research-based knowledge creation and innovation ecosystem, as the latter is the fuel for socio-economic transformation of a relatively developing and developed country. The policy would also highlight on creating a new system and a structure of education that is aligned with the aspirational goals of 21st century as well as India's tradition and value system. The new system would emphasize more on flexibility as well as adaptability so as to meet the requirement of the diverse background of the vast and plural country's student community. So also the demands of the country's industries, banking, trade and commerce, agriculture and other sectors of the economy. Meeting the requirements of the time along with flexibility and adaptability means enhancement of skill, less reliance on a long tradition of stereotype theories, practical and experience-based teaching, learning and evaluation system. The above arguments obviously stress for an ecosystem of multidisciplinary study along with multiple entry and exit system to facilitate the teaching learning process of a large number of our students across the country. National Research Foundation, a crucial ingredient, will boost research activities as it will ensure a merit-based research funding system, and the foundation will coordinate with various public, private and philanthropic organizations to avoid duplication of efforts and a transparent system of funding. Multidisciplinary research with an integration of qualitative and a quantitative methodology of research may propel research activities towards extending into new frontiers of knowledge in different areas of studies, and this will ultimately lead to a quantum jump in the development of and the growth of country's economy. Indianization of English and foreign language studies by relooking the literature from Indian perspectives is a need of the hour. Local and regional literary texts are to be translated into English and included in the syllabus of different universities and institutions. Indigenous system of various tribes, castes, communities and ethnic groups which are still in oral mode in the form of rites, rituals, chants, etc. should be properly documented in regional and national languages for expanding and enriching the frontier of Indian knowledge system. Thus, the need of the hour is to reorient the mindset of all stakeholders of the education system in the country, including the policymakers, academics, scholars, parents, and more particularly the students. The policy is aimed to make students more comfortable with the new system of education. The policy is meant to give the students a more relevant and study oriented, which are comfortable to the students. The students now would be geared to learn more comfortably in the system of field experience, experiential learning, skill-based courses. Students are generally, the majority of the students are generally more prone towards getting their knowledge and experience through field experience, and therefore whatever new syllabus and curriculum that the universities in different areas of the region as well as in the state of Manipur have prepared and have restructured in their curriculum and the syllabus surely would be able to benefit and to work in the larger interest of the students. Apparently, it seems that there are certain teaching problems in various institutions and universities, but this is actually the reality. So whenever there is any new system, but over a period of time, in a matter of 5-6 years, when the first batch of the graduate and the postgraduate students come out after completing their courses, we'll be able to see that there are new batches. So there are some batches of students who have, who have come out successfully in their courses in a more relevant. They will come out as a more confident. They will come out as a more skilled. They will be made, more confident, and they will be able to face this changing world in a more, confident way. We are grateful to the Vidya Bharati Ucha Shiksha, the Manipur branch, for taking this initiative, and the university has been able to provide, along with other universities in the state, the little support system in making this inaugural program a success. Tomorrow there will be 3 academic sessions which will be handled by experts in different areas, and I hope all the delegates and all the participants today would be able to have proper interactions with the experts tomorrow in the 3 academic sessions, and the details of how the NEP has been introduced in various universities in the state and outside the state will be very, very thoroughly discussed and deliberated, and this is the way that we have to formulate policy program for the way forward of making the program a success. With these few words, I would like to thank all the learned faculties, the delegates, and the other scholars who have come here and who have borne the program and who have agreed to stay with us in the completion of this function. Thank you very much.
For sharing your profound knowledge and words of wisdom with us. We are charmed by your sharp fluency. Thank you so much once again. And to mark the conclusion of this inaugural program, may I have the honor to invite Professor I. Gambhir Singh, Convener, Organizing Committee of the conference, to propose the vote of thanks.
Nasigi Jingle Pazaraba, Palamasida, Hojik Pauba, Sixabu Kawai Haknaba, education policy to implement Tawiniba, Tawigani Habaga, Loinana commitment Amaga Loinana, Nasigi function Nasibu Yawala Piriba Singapur, Yawala Piribapunam Pu, Ainamukan Nolutari. Nasigi Hazaraba Thoramasida, Atoiba Lendi Rakiba, Sri T.S. Vasanta Singh, Honorable Minister of Education, Law, Legislature, Government of Manipur, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor Avinash Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Professor G.P. Prasad, Vice Chancellor, Tripura University, Professor Raj Mohan Singh, Vice Chancellor, Dhanmanjari University, Professor Saranghem Indira, Dean, Central Agriculture University, Professor P. Gunindra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University of Culture, Professor Krishnan Vaskar, Director, IIIT Manipur, Imphal, Sri H. Gyan Prakash, IAS, Vice Chancellor, Manipur Technical University, and Commissioner Education of Government of Manipur, and Professor Kiran Hazarika, Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, New Delhi. सबको धन्यवाद और कुछ कहना नहीं है। एजुकेशन को आगे ले जाने के लिए जो करना है करना चाहिए और सबको सपोर्ट दे रहा है तो सोच रहा हूँ कि देते रहेगा। We will try to serve our best. Thank you for sparing your valuable time. Once again, I would like to thank the deans, HODs, principals, and the participants. Tomorrow we will begin at 9:30 p.m. I hope all of us will participate and involve in the kind of implementation. Thank you. Sabko dhanavad.
Thank you very much, respected Professor I. Gambhir Singh, Convener, Organizing Committee of the conference, for that very brief vote of thanks. And ladies and gentlemen, as we arrive to the conclusion of this remarkable inaugural program of the 2-day National Conference on National Education Policy 2020 Opportunities and the Way Forward. Thank you so much for your gracious presence. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you tomorrow as our respected convener already mentioned the time and place. Thank you so much everyone. Have a great time ahead. Thank you.